canonizations, celebrations, renovations, and a silent prayer protest. That's what's happening in the Diocese of Charlotte, and we've got it on the Catholic News Herald Update. Carrying Pope Paul VI's pastoral staff and wearing the blood-stained belt of Archbishop Oscar Romero of San Salvador, Pope Francis formally recognized them and 5 others as saints of the Catholic Church. Thousands of pilgrims from the new saints' home countries of Italy, El Salvador, Spain, and Germany were joined by tens of thousands of others in St. Peter's Square to celebrate the universal recognition of the holiness of men and women that they already knew were saints. Now, as that celebration of the saints took place in Rome, here in the Diocese of Charlotte, members of the Salvadorian community, the Latino leaders, and church organizations met on Sunday, October the 14th, at the Church of Our Lady of Guadalupe in Charlotte to recognize the life and sacrifice of Archbishop Romero, as well as to thank the Church for his elevation to sainthood. After the Mass, a small gathering was held in which the community was informed about the life of St. Oscar, his sacrifice for social justice, and to hear the testimony of several members of the community about their life experiences with this new saint. In Peru, a highlight of the liturgical year is the huge procession for Señor de los Milagros, or Lord of the Miracles. Thanks to the increasing diversification of the Diocese of Charlotte, a local version of this colorful and prayerful event took place here. Patricia Guilfoyle narrates our report.
The Lord of the Miracles Mass and procession took place at Our Lady of Guadalupe Church on October 13th. The church was packed for the Mass and hundreds took part in the procession. The Lord of the Miracles is a painting on an adobe wall in Lima, Peru, depicting the crucified Lord, the Virgin Mary, and Mary Magdalene. The mural was created by an unknown slave in 1650 in his anguish over being captured in Africa and enslaved in Peru. After its appearance, other slaves began to gather around the image to worship the crucified Lord. In 1655, a powerful earthquake destroyed nearly all of Lima, but miraculously the image on the wall was spared. A few years later, after the wall was spared from another earthquake, processions venerating the image began. The procession includes women called sahumadoras, or incensors, dressed in purple robes, and men called cargadores, or carriers. The diocese has 2 organizations that work together to promote this annual procession. Patricia Guilfoyle for the Catholic News Herald.
Hundreds of Catholics grabbed their signs and their rosaries to stand up for the unborn on Respect Life Sunday this month. Prayer vigils were held in Forest City, Huntersville, Charlotte, Greensboro, Arden, Brevard, and Kernersville. Respect Life Sunday marked the start of the U.S. Bishop's observance of October as Respect Life Month. It brought people out to busy thoroughfares in the big cities, as well as small towns, as a public witness for the dignity of all life from conception to natural death. And finally, in Asheville, inside the church, drones are buzzing near the ceiling, around the statues, and the stained glass windows. Outside, professional rappellers are sliding on ropes as they use some pretty sophisticated technology for an up-close look at the 115-year-old Basilica of St. Lawrence. It is the first phase of a preservation project in the church. The rappellers will use laser technology to look for leaks and other structural issues all over the entire facility. They will make multiple inspection drops, as they are called, down the Basilica's bell towers and other exterior walls. They'll be using tablet computers and cameras to document all of their observations. Inside, the drones will do the same thing. They'll be making a lot of noise in the process, but also saving time and expense in finding all of the structural issues. After a thorough analysis of the building, a report of what needs to be done and the cost will be made to the Basilica Preservation Fund. Read more about this project in the next print edition of the Catholic News Herald that comes out on October 26th. That's it for this edition of the Catholic News Herald Update. I'm David Haynes. God bless.